Hello, everyone. Luke Moon here with the Philos Project. Today, I want to talk to you about the Southern Baptist Church. This week, they met in Indianapolis to talk about all things Southern Baptist. They had a bunch of resolutions to pass, and a bunch of them have hit the news, particularly when it comes to things like women's ordination. But the one that's most relevant for us, the one that I'm particularly interested in here, is the resolution that was passed in regard to Israel and Gaza and the war there. The resolution is called "On Justice and Peace in the Aftermath of October 7th attack on Israel." Now, this is a really great resolution, but the Southern Baptist Church, just so you know, is the largest Protestant denomination in the United States. They have over 13,000 members. It is quite significant that they have chosen these words. Now, I'm going to read to you and kind of unpack them because I think it's very significant. So, the opening lines of this resolution are: whereas on October 7th, 2023, the nation of Israel was attacked by Hamas, an organization designated by the United States Department of State as a foreign terrorist organization, and committed unspeakable atrocities such as the murder of 1,200 people, the abduction of 253 people, the rape, torture, and other cruel and inhumane treatment of countless others, including children, women, and the elderly, with nearly half of the hostages being foreign nationals or having multiple citizenships. And whereas no other modern nation state is above reasonable critique, Hamas is unequivocally bears responsibility for the atrocities committed and the devastating repercussions that have affected the Jewish people, Palestinians living under the tyranny of this terrorist organization, our Christian brothers and sisters in the region, and all neighboring people. So you see here, this resolution, there are critiques of this resolution that say it makes no mention of the Palestinians. Actually, it does right there. In the second paragraph of this, it's pretty clear that they're saying that Hamas unequivocally bears responsibility for all of the atrocities committed against all the people, meaning Jewish people and the Palestinians living under the tyranny of the terrorist organization. So, yes, the people who are the Palestinians, they don't specify the Gazans, but the Palestinians living under the tyranny of the terrorist organization. So that's pretty clear to me. So it goes on. Hamas leadership openly declares that they will repeat such attacks until Israel ceases to exist as a nation. That is true. Hamas has said that over and over again. Goes on, says, whereas incidences of anti-Semitism have dramatically increased both domestically and abroad since the terrorist attack on October 7th. Yes, we've had many times on this program you don't even have to hear from me on this program. You just watch any news site and you will see the rise of anti-Semitism. It used to be before October 7th, we were going around talking to people about the rise of anti-Semitism. People like, come on, Luke, does anti-Semitism really happen? Is it really a thing? Yes, it was a thing before, but now it's even more of a thing, right? And what's weird is that, at my daughter's school, if before October 7th, they find a small swastika on the back of the bathroom door. It was the whole town was in uproar. But yeah, it's strange to me that how strangely quiet all of a sudden all the outrage is once it moves from the domain of the white supremacists to the domain of the leftist and the Islamists unifying and coming together to be the source of this anti-Semitism that we see. It's quite interesting there. Anyways, we continue on this resolution. It says, whereas while theological perspectives on Israel and the church vary within the Southern Baptist Convention, we are unified in calling current anti-Semitic attacks against the Jewish people, and especially heinous, as the Jewish people have often been the targets by their neighbors since God called them as his people in the days of Abraham. So, just, recognizing that there's a variety of perspectives within the Southern Baptist Convention, and yet recognizing that this is a pattern. There's a long history of anti-Semitism, and it kind of moves beyond whether you think how you think about the current theology in regard to Israel and the Jewish people. Nevertheless, they have been victims of anti-Semitism from the beginning. Okay. The resolution continues. True peace will not be achieved until the return of Jesus Christ. And now, therefore, be it resolved. So it's like we recognize that there's a limitation to all of the efforts that we make. There's a very Christian response to all things, actually. And it is actually very much in line with my email that came out this week, where I talked about, the prophets would decry, in the Hebrew Bible, the prophets would decry the injustice that would take place. And yet they all ended with the promise of restoration. And we believe as Christians that that restoration will take place at the return of Jesus Christ. That makes us Christians. I recognize that lots of Jews don't believe that. And, that's the conversation for another day. But I do. That's what makes me a Christian. So this resolution continues. Therefore, be it resolved that the messengers of the Southern Baptist Convention, meeting in Indianapolis, Indiana, June 11th and 12th, 2024, condemn Hamas's attack of October 7th, committed to standing and committed to standing with the Jewish people and those suffering in the region, and oppose all forms of anti-Semitism. Be it further resolved that we deny assertions of moral equivalence between Israel and Hamas. I really appreciate that one. We see this over and over again. For all the decrying of, the attacks on Donald Trump about him saying there's good people on both sides. He was not referring to the white supremacists at that time. He was talking specifically about people who support and object to the removal of statues. That's what he was referring to. But yet it was he was accused of saying that there's creating a moral equivalency between white supremacists who are marching with pitchforks and tiki torches and those who were opposed to the white supremacists. Interestingly enough, we see this kind of moral equivalency showing up. There's good people on both sides thing coming up when the rescue of the hostages that took place, and then there's the Islamist fighters, the terrorists are killed in the process, and the remarks out of our government is, well, we're really concerned about everybody. Okay, it's good people on both sides, I guess. Huh? Right, moral equivalency is the Southern Baptists are clear. There's no moral equivalency between Israel and Hamas, and I appreciate that. Okay. And be it further resolved that we are appalled by anti-Israel and pro-Hamas activities on university campuses, within professional associations, and in the culture at large. Yes, totally agree with that statement about being appalled. Resolve that we are committed to supporting biblical solutions to the conflict, advocating for principles of justice, mercy, and humility in all actions taken by Israel in pursuit of a just peace. Micah 6:8 is the verse that is used in regard to that. And I think that we on this show and at the Philos Project and many others have, talked a great deal about making sure and Israel's attempt to minimize the um, civilian casualties. I mean, actually, in urban warfare, the death toll of combatants to civilians is actually, as far as what has been recorded, is the lowest in history. So they are doing their best to act justly, uh, and the mercy is directly related to that. They are not just you know uh, carpet bombing uh, Gaza. That would not be merciful. Um, so I appreciate this particularly this paragraph here. All right, be it further resolved that we oppose calls for the nation of Israel to lay down its arms and repudiate any calls for a permanent ceasefire that does not also result in the immediate release of hostages. That couldn't be more clear. And this to me is one of the what makes this resolution stand out is that it is clear on who the problem is in this war, and it's Hamas. And any calls for a ceasefire that don't result in the like full release of the hostages, it's a non-starter. And I would also add that Hamas needs to lay down its arms and walk away. Right, go into exile somewhere, go to Qatar. So all right, let me continue. And be it further resolved that we call on the international community to redouble its effort to support the nation of Israel towards a just and lasting peace, addressing underlying issues such as terrorism, human rights violations, regional instability, consistent with biblical calls to defend the oppressed and promote justice, especially among non combatants and civilians. Here it's Psalm 82, 3 and 4, and Isaiah 1:17. I think this is very appropriate. And we're nearly finished here. Be it further resolved that we recognize the dignity and personhood of all people living in the Middle East and affirm God's love and offer of salvation to them through Jesus Christ, honoring the difficult ministry of Jewish and Palestinian believers who labor for the gospel as we pray for their protection and ministry. And again, there are critics that say that there's no mention of the Palestinians here. Again, recognize the dignity and personhood of all people. Sorry, Palestinians, you'll get labeled. You don't see yourselves maybe getting counted as all people, but you are. Okay. And then finally, we encourage Southern Baptists to pray diligently for peaceful resolution to the war and all affected by warfare, petitioning God for wisdom, protection, and ultimate blessing of a just and lasting peace among the nations. And the verse connected to that is 1 Timothy 2, 1 and 2. So here is the largest Protestant Christian denomination in the United States laying out a very clear resolution in support of Israel against Hamas, recognizing that Hamas is the source of the atrocities. Hamas is the reason why the Palestinians are suffering, and orienting this denomination, these Christians, and the Christians that follow the Southern Baptists towards the right direction in regard to Israel and the Jewish people. So as a Southern Baptist minister, I appreciate this resolution. So please like and subscribe to this uh, this channel, the Philos Project's YouTube channel. And don't forget to donate to the Philos Project. We are sponsored by people like you. Thank you very much.